Welcome back to The Big Show. It's Alex Belfield talking to my favourite people and the world's biggest stars. And we've got a proper, real star for you now. Melanie, how are you?
I'm good. I like the word star.
Yeah, but you are, because you're transatlantic. Everybody knows you in Vegas. Everybody knows you in New York and Milan and Paris and here in London. It must be fun being you.
Oh, my God, that sounds a lot. You know, I don't even really think about it like that. I just do what I do and I love it. When you put it like that, you're going to make me paranoid.
Is it nice wherever you go, the fact that people will open doors for you? Or is it annoying that when they open the doors, everybody wants to talk to you because you're Mel B?
Well, I think it's kind of a little bit nice and old school, especially if a gentleman's opening the door for you. I'm just me, so I just get on with things. You know, I don't worry or stress out too much. I'm not really a stressor. I'm just more of a doer.
I've come down on the train today from Leeds, which of course is where you grew up.
Yeah.
When you look at your life now, sat here in a swanky London hotel compared to your upbringing, I mean, it was very normal, wasn't it?
It was really normal. You know, we didn't grow up with a lot of fancy luxury stuff, but my mum and dad were really hard workers and they made the most of what they had. And we had a great childhood. I've got really good memories about growing up in Leeds especially. But, you know, now, of course, I've got my own family. I'm living in LA. I get to, you know, meet people like you and come and travel and do this, that and the other and, you know, work and things. And I'm 35, so I'm older. Life is a little bit different. Of course it would be.
I've looked at your story and I think tenacity sums it up. You never gave up, did you?
No, I'm never going to give up. No, I'll do that when I'm dead. I don't know about if I was going to make it, but I definitely was going to try and get there and enjoy what I was doing and enjoy the whole process and entertain at the end of the day.
When I look at the Spice Girls, it seems like the dynamic worked in the beginning because you all had different skills. There were the cute ones, there were the business ones, there were the quiet ones, and you seem to be the one that continually pushed forward and made sure that you got on stage at night. Is that true?
I don't think I was the loud, obnoxious one, to be honest. But, you know, we were 5 girls. We're still really good friends to this day, and it still works. It's just we're all mums now, we're doing our own thing.
How do you make that work where you're hugely private in one way with your kids and with your family and with your husbands, and then you suddenly switch that off and you're still on stage in front of 1 million people doing what you do?
Well, it's like, I mean, that's what you just do. I mean, we're all really, you know, good performers in our own eyes, and, you know, you get on stage and you just forget about everything else and you just do you, and you do the group and you sing your song that you wrote and you just enjoy yourself.
Is there any better thrill than singing those songs, regardless of what it is? Just that adoration from the audience and the big lights and the band and all that stuff. Is that what you live for?
I think sometimes, I mean, back in the day especially, I'd sometimes forget the words. It was more about just me being up on stage with my 4 mates, really enjoying myself and just getting to travel the whole world and that whole experience that comes along with that. Yeah, we had a lot of fun.
When you see the stars that don't quite make it because they end up getting into the drugs or end up falling apart and can't quite struggle with the enormity of fame, do you totally get why some people can't maybe handle it as well as you did?
Oh, well, who's to say that I even handled it well? You know, nobody knows behind the scenes what really happens. At the end of the day, I actually had a great time in the whole 15 years of doing Spice Girls and solo stuff and, you know, TV shows and this and that. I've had a great run at it because I've always been very passionate about what I do, and I like to mix things up so it doesn't get humdrum or you don't get burnt out too quick. And, you know, at the end of the day, you have to look after yourself on this journey, otherwise you do get fried out and you sizzled out and you lose your spark, and hopefully I haven't done that yet. Well, I don't feel like I have.
You're only in your mid-30s now. How much pressure is there?
I'm mid-30s, oh my God, I'm nearly on my way to 40. 35 I think is quite a big age for a woman to turn, because you're not like 34, 33, you're like nearly on your way to like 37, 39, 40. Yeah, it's a big one.
And how much pressure is there on you to still be on the front of the magazines and still be on the box and still be wanted? Do you worry about that stuff?
I don't think I have pressure about being on the front of a magazine. And if I am on a front cover of a magazine, then great. And if I'm not, great too. You know, I have so many things that I do, whether it be producing movies with my husband, investing in different business opportunities and things like that. I keep myself busy, so it's not just about one thing. I mean, obviously my number one thing is music and performing, but then there's many different things that you can also do that really, you know, interest me.
Can they hurt you now? I mean, I saw very recently a lot of front pages that weren't that complimentary about the state of your marriage and how you're getting on. Does any of this bother you, or is it just all fun showbiz?
I think if I didn't have my own reality show out, I'd be going, oh my God, and I want to go on this interview and set them straight and this, that and the other. But, you know, I'm producing my own reality show. I'm in it. It's me and my family, and it's just about us. There's nothing that we're trying to push or be fake. It's just us, and you just watch us on our day-to-day thing. So that, in so many different ways, just sets the record straight. So I don't need to be bothered about what people say. And to be honest, people are always going to judge, and they're always going to comment, and they're always going to have their opinion or their rumoured story that apparently they think is true. And that's never going to change.
The first big reality show was the Osbournes. That didn't go so well for the family. They're now coming out the other side. Have you worried?
I thought that was successful.
Well, let's think of it. He ended up in rehab. Ozzy Ed was nearly dead. Sharon ended up having a breakdown.
It's good because they were already like a mess, and then they sorted themselves out.
If you listened to Kelly recently, she was saying that it was mostly brought on by the pressure of doing that show to continually be interesting. I mean, I'm really mundane and boring. How much are you turning it on then, or is it really just you?
Well, the thing is, if you just follow me in my day, what I do, things just happen. Like, I landed in Milan and I lost my luggage. I was in the same clothes for 2 days, and then my mobile phone got stolen. And I was just laughing the whole time. Didn't have time to go shopping because I had a 16-hour day. And then I've got my husband Skyping me with the kids because we just had, he just built a new movie theatre room. So they would like stay more or less in there for 12 hours straight because the kids have no school. And I'm going, get them to bed. They have to go to bed, or in pizza at like God knows what time. So yeah, I mean, my life is very interesting to say the least, but also I'm very family orientated, as in my kids have certain responsibilities to earn their pocket money. You know, I've tried to have a structure where they do understand the value of money because they are in a privileged life, and we just have fun at the end of the day.
How do you do that? Because I spoke to Gordon Ramsay recently, and he says the kids fly economy whilst I fly first class. What are your rules on things like that? Because if the kids think it's normal to have a flat bed, that doesn't really give them a perspective.
Well, I'm mainly flying jets, but apart from that, you know, my 11-year-old, she has a chore to feed and walk the dog. She knows to tidy her room. Even Angel knows if she plays with her toys and makes her room a mess, she puts them all away. We all have our phones off at dinner time, and we all help set the table, and we help do all the dishes. I mean, we're just like a regular family in that respect, but we do have quite a nice life as well.
Christmas, though, comes, and then the kids can have basically what they want. How do you make sure that that doesn't get out of perspective?
No, I mean, I think it all depends what kind of parent you are and how you got brought up. I may be extravagant on one hand, but, you know, even though my kids do have a certain amount of privileges, we do everything in moderation when it comes to birthdays and Christmases. I'm not going to go completely over the top. I mean, they'll still have things like socks that they have to unwrap 3 or 4 packages, so that fills the room a little bit more.
This is what I envisage, you see. I envisage Christmas Day, about 5:30 the alarm goes off, and by 10 o'clock, Baby Spice is there, and Mel C's there, and Victoria pops in. Does this happen?
Here. No, we have lots and lots of different dinner parties, and we'll have like play dates with Phoenix's friends and Angel's friends, and then we'll have our movie night where, you know, people, I guess, that are in the public eye come over and hang out and stuff. And then apart from that, it's back to being on a school night, and we're all like in bed pretty much at a decent hour. You
came back with the Spice Girls a few years ago, and it was a massive success. We'd like to see that again. Is that possible?
Yeah, I mean, I've always said never, you know, completely shut down anything to do with Spice Girls. I'm always the one that's always like campaigning like we will get back together, and I always will be, because I just love the other 4 girls and I've always enjoyed performing with them, so I'd be the first one to say yeah.